Hello, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars unboxing show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. And it's been kind of wonky here in the Darth Tuba world. And what I mean by wonky is that I put a whole bunch of videos together ahead of time. In fact, I would say 2 months worth of videos. Now, why did I do that? Well, my fall, for those who know me, and I know a lot of you do, outside of the Star Wars collecting world, friends and family, students. I know some students like to watch. I am a teacher. I teach, and I am a band director by profession. And of course, in the fall, we have marching band, and it's a big deal, and it takes up a lot of time and energy. So, in an effort to try to kind of get ahead of that, I try to get pre-record some episodes so that all throughout during the marching band fall season, I'm able to just prep them to release. Just all I have to do is put them out there, release them, spread them on social media, and then, that's it. So, that's why, some of this stuff has been getting done way ahead of time. So this is just really, I've kind of restricted this mostly to unboxing, mainly, new items that come in. Then they started coming out with the opportunity to do YouTube Shorts, which I actually really, really liked. These 1-minute short videos, and I started dabbling with them. They're not getting as many views as my regular channel is, but I don't mind. It's a great way. But I will say that if you occasionally just want, for those people who just want to see a quick unboxing of 1 or 2 figures, real quick comment on each of them, check out my shorts. I don't do any sharing of them. They're just on the channel. So, subscribe, like, hit the notification, and they should come up. But, check them out. So before we get into some unboxings, now I'm not, again, this is stuff that's come out for the last few months, actually. I just haven't had a chance to do all the unboxings. We'll get to a few of them in a minute. I did want to talk a little bit about my thoughts at the halfway point of the season on Andor. Now you can get more detailed thoughts from me and discussion from my War of the Stars podcast. But my initial thoughts are I needed time to just let it sit for a bit. And, we've kind of gotten to a halfway point in the season at this point. And my thoughts are this. I enjoy the show. Am I, absolutely head over heels in love with it? I'd have to say no. But I also don't hate it either. I don't know where that puts it, I think these days, we live in a society where something has to be either phenomenal, the greatest thing you've ever seen, or it's horrible, terrible. Why do they waste their time? Which I don't believe this is either of those things. I think it's really great storytelling, a really interesting story, really great dramatic Star Wars project with some action, but for the most part, it's really more about the characters and about intrigue and what drives a person or persons to go to a certain place. And a certain action. In this case, it's kind of wartime and rebellion and that type of thing. So, there's a lot of people giving it a slow burn kind of comment. I agree with that. I do think that, this thing kind of moves slowly. It's not an hour long. It's only they're generally 35, 40-minute episodes. So I think you can do a slow burn with that, It is just funny because my wife and I have been watching that right next to She-Hulk. And man, you couldn't find two different TV shows. I mean, aside the fact that one's Marvel, one's Star Wars, they're just so different in their structure and everything about them. Like She-Hulk too, So it's just really interesting. I'm for me, it's all about world building. When I see this, and again, maybe it's because I'm a collector. As a world builder, I'm always like, ooh, who's that character? Ooh, look at that Imperial uniform. Look at that design. Look at the, sometimes it's a throwback and sometimes it's something new and you haven't seen it before. I mean, they had TIE fighter pilots climbing into hanging TIE fighters, which is not something we've read about. We've seen it in comics, but I don't think we've seen it. We sort of saw it in First Order. It was kind of off to the side, but we saw a hint of it in, I think it was Mandalorian, but we really didn't see that in this era of Star Wars, so it was kind of cool. So I'm enjoying it. I'm just happy that we have it. That's kind of my feeling on it. That's what I said on the episode, my podcast. I'm like, and I said this about Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, Mandalorian, season 1 and 2. Think about this for a minute. I mean, whoever thought we would have this much Star Wars content? Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Rebels. I mean, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects coming. It's a wonderful time to enjoy this franchise. It's not just about going back and rewatching. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Star Trek fan myself, and I've been loving prior to our Star Trek. I will tell you, I don't watch Star Trek Discovery. That's one I haven't been able to get into, but I've loved Star Trek Picard. I've loved Lower Decks. I even watched a little bit of Star Trek Prodigy, I think is what it is. It's more of a kids show, but I've been enjoying. But for years and years, and to enjoy Star Trek was to enjoy the reruns and just rewatch. You know, I love the classic Batman series. We ain't getting any more of that, so I like to sometimes rewatch that. So rewatchability is fine, but it is nice to have new content as well. And it is nice in a way that you can just say, hey, you know what, this connects with me, this one not so much. So I'm enjoying it for what it is. Am I going to be cosplaying as Andor or one of the characters? Probably not. But I do enjoy the storyline, and I enjoy the world building. I'll give you one complaint. A lot of people have been talking about the awesome score. I'm not connecting with the score. Not saying it's bad. I'm just not connecting with it. I'm a little old-fashioned in that sense, and it's okay. It's okay to be old-fashioned, but I'm a big, huge John Williams fan. And even more importantly than that, I'm a big, huge main theme fan. I want a theme. I love themes. Leitmotifs, if you will, for those music people. Okay? I like when Vader walked across the screen, you heard a theme and you knew it was Vader. When a heroic thing is happening, you hear the Star Wars theme. You know, there's just something about having those themes that you can recall in your head. The music of the last 20 years, if it wasn't John Williams, and maybe Alan Silvestri to some degree. Alan Silvestri kind of floats one way or the other, but or Jerry Goldsmith. If it wasn't them, you're not really getting a lot of themes. The thematic thing is more ethereal. It's more minimalist, that type of thing, and that's fine if it pushes the story, and I think it does. I think that the drama is there, and I guess that's part of the reason. What's part of the role of a score in a film, but I just feel that I like something to push the narrative in a film, but also exist on its own as something you can listen to, and I just don't, myself personally, don't see that. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Andor. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes next. I mean, kind of feels like it ended its first section, and now it's going to move on to other things. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, so as you can see, ton of unboxings here. I think I'm going to start at the top so that it doesn't fall. I have two. I think I'm going to do two. I have this one and this one. All right, so we're going to start with this one now. Of course, I don't have my my little X-Acto knife. I'm not sure where that ended up, so I'm going to have to use a pen here. Okay, what do we got? All right. Oh, okay. So we've got was this from Entertainment Earth, or was this from? I want to get my credit where credit's due. Now this is Hasbro Pulse. So this is one of those comic book pack War of the Bounty Hunters. Got the little Velcro, and you have the Boba Fett in disguise. I don't even know if I can really. I'm going to use the light. So, again, okay. It's a repaint. We all know this, okay? Probably nothing really spectacular about this. It's just, you could literally take any Boba Fett figure, paint it with a flat or a slightly semi-gloss black paint, and you would get this character. So, this is nice. I like the packaging. I like the kind of, it's not really a comic book. It feels more like a novel because of the thickness. But, and you can always just line them up. I have a few there right behind. But I'm going to be honest. I'm starting to, I like the shimmer effect of this. But I don't know how much I connect to this. I'm starting to make, the people who have been watching this channel since the May or June of last year will know that I've been starting to purge the collection. Not the whole collection, but a lot of it. Some of that's to make room for new things. But other reasons is just I am very, very much aware of the fact that at some point, either I'm going to no longer be on this planet and someone's going to have to take care of all this stuff, or in more hopefully more realistic and more soon, is that I'm going to have to, we may be moving down to be closer to our daughter in Florida, and if we do that, we're not going to have the space to hold an entire Star Wars collection. So I'm going to have to pick and choose. So this might be something that sits on the shelf for a few years and then goes away. But if you have a connection with the War of the Bounty Hunters comic, okay, that's a really cool thing. You would probably enjoy that. If you have a connection with just Boba Fett, I mean, obviously this is just another one to add to the. I'm sorry, I can't see his head as well. I'm trying to tilt it there, but if you have a connection with Boba Fett, it's just another nice one to add to the line of them. So we'll put them prominently up on the wall. Okay, and then this one came in a little while ago. I believe we have a. I don't usually do this with Entertainment Earth, but I think we actually had a pack. I ordered a whole pack. Why'd I do that? Well, a couple of reasons. Oh, inside the box is a little box. Okay, sorry if I just scratched there a little bit. And I'll put that box in a little box. Okay, and I'll mail that box to myself. Put in a comment if you know what that is from. Okay, so what I basically did was get a case of figures from Hasbro. Okay, and why did I do the case thing? Well, was this from Hasbro? No, this is from Entertainment Earth, but obviously originally from Hasbro. I did the case thing because in some ways it's nice to just get the case and not have to worry about finding the figures one at a time. I don't like to always do that. I feel like then it's just a thing. It's just you're accomplishing a chore, where it should be fun to do this, to find them or to get them, even ordering them online. So, but the thing about a case is that a case often comes with doubles. So, what does that mean? Well, it does mean that I want to try to the doubles. If I have just doubles, what I might try to do is I might try and open one up, and have a loose figure, because I don't have a lot. I mean, I don't have a lot of loose figures. Not, of course I do, but I do like to occasionally take some of the newer figures because the sculpts are so good and everything else, and open them up. So let's start with this is not any numerical order, just in one end of the box. Din Djarin. This is from Morak, right? Din Djarin, number 251. There he is. Okay, obviously he's mainly just a one of those stormtrooper drivers, tank drivers, just with a nice, really cool sculpted Din Djarin helmet, which makes sense. He takes it off, so that's a cool thing, and you can see he's got the nice box art. So there you go. Now the next one I see is a double of Din Djarin. All right, so let me just put this one aside, and I'll consider opening it in a minute. Let's go to this next one. Okay, we have ARC Trooper Jesse, number 250. ARC Trooper Jesse. All right, there he goes. A nice. I believe that is a Clone Wars era, right? Because it says Clone Wars on it. Yes. So cool. Comes with a nice sculpt. Nice. Got the Imperial marker there. Awesome. Oh. You have no idea how long I've waited for this moment, for this seemingly insignificant character. VC-249. Figrin Dan. We have had quite a few of the modal nodes and Figrin Dan action figures. I even just ordered recently a 5-pack, right? I think, or even a 6-pack, that are going to come loose. So I'm not going to take this one out. But I have wanted, my hand is shaking, a vintage carded Cantina band member since 1977. It has been 45 years, and it has finally happened. Unless you got one custom made, you are not able to get this figure. So this is the one I'm most excited about. I might actually put this one in a now, of course, I'm a musician, so music and Star Wars, when they meld together, it's a big thing. Now, the thing about this, though, Then when you think about Return of the Jedi, they came out with Max Rebo, Size Noodles, Droopy McCool, a little 3-pack. So they came out with figures for the musicians. Well, why didn't they do it for the first movie? There it is. Well, they did now. So, better late than never. There he is, Figuring Dan. Looks like he comes with 3 different instruments because you can, as I've mentioned in past episodes, they all look exactly the same. So you can, there's Figuring Dan, there's Doiknath, there's Tech, there's Igabel, Tedden, okay? Barkwind Dan, I think. I can't remember if that's part of that band or another band. But, there's like 5 or 6 or even 7 of them in the shot. So you can actually have this be, on the card it's Figuring Dan, but you can actually pose it as any one of these. And I'm sure their idea is, if you buy 3 of them, then you can have 3 figures, all of them playing one of the different instruments. I'm not going to do that. I'm happy with this one. I'll set up the other ones in an uncarded thing. Okay, 332nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper. This one I actually unboxed in a short recently, so this is actually a double. So I'm going to. Oh wait, I'm gonna get my things here right. These 2 go here, and these 2 go here. Okay. Ooh, it looks like we have another one of these. Well, it would make sense so you can have multiple openers. So I don't know if I'm going to open this one. This one might go into a cell pile. And we have the Mandalorian Death Watch Airborne Trooper. There it is. And I'm thinking this is also one of those. Nope, it's not. This is the Mandalorian. This is VC-247, VC-246, the Mandalorian Super Commando Captain. And if you remember this, the Clone Wars episode where back when Darth Maul was running the Mandalorian, these guys kind of put these horns up to honor Darth Maul. So really, really cool stuff. All right, guys. Whew! I think this has gone on for nearly 20 minutes, so I think we have done enough with this episode. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification, all that stuff. And check out all my other videos. Hit the bell, you know the bit, all right? And check out the new shorts. Regular episodes drop Sundays and Wednesdays. The other shorts come whenever I have a moment to film one, But the funny thing is that I've been trying, they have to be less than a minute, right? Or like a minute or less. So what I've been trying to do is literally get a minute version of a recording. Actually quickly talk, unbox, talk real quick, and do it all in under a minute. Not easy to do. So I've been doing a lot of editing, but I'm getting better at it. So check out my progress as we go. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.